I don't know what day of the week it is, and I think this feeling of freedom severs me from the ties of a modern world. On a random weekday, to be exploring waterfalls with my pet duck definitely isn't where I imagined my life going. I once thought that busyness was an indicator of success, and I think so many are misguided by this lie. I hear it in conversations all the time. I've just been so busy, work is a lot right now. This week I've got meeting after meeting, but between the lines there's this competition of success. My life is busier than yours, and therefore I'm more successful. These conversations once affirmed my ideals as I was chasing a career and staying up until 4 a.m. to complete assignments, and I was so busy that I couldn't concentrate on anything else except for the future. But as I float on my back, my duck by my side, glistening water encircling me, the waterfall's soft trickle above, I realize that these parameters of success have entirely shifted within my mind. My new concept of my own personal success is this. It is to not know what day of the week it is. It is to not have a 5-year plan, to not commodify my existence into steps and schemes to make money and fit in. It is to not be so busy that the image of the future controls my every move, but instead it is to be guided by the present. And I know that this is a great privilege, that so many work to survive, and that most people don't have a choice to give up on the rat race. But I've worked enough jobs in retail and hospitality to know that we shouldn't be forced to decide between our years on this earth being entirely consumed by our labor or by not having the money to survive, to eat, to sleep, or to be safe. I think that the problem can be simplified to money, this concept that our species created. A system used to control us and let us think that there's no other way. But many Indigenous people have or do live in alternate ways. This way of living, of exchanging our lives for fake money, it's a relatively new concept. Humans are the only species on Earth that work in this way, that sacrifice the essence of our lives to jobs that are often not even real, just a way of trading our time for money. So I dare you to imagine a way of being that doesn't center around a tiered system where we all work endless hours for a lucky few to get richer, for our world to get sicker, for our lives to be forgotten within the stampede of capitalism. So yeah, maybe it is radical to not work for no end. It's radical to lay on a rock in the sun. It's radical to grow your own food, to not buy useless trinkets and belongings, to not work so hard that you need to holiday and then holiday so hard that you need to work. It's radical to imagine a world that's different, that's better. Good boy. Only 8% of the world's money actually exists, and the rest are just numbers on a screen. It is all imaginary and only propped up by our belief in it. But what if we stopped believing? If we grew our own food and worked as a community? If we made art and celebrated using our hands? If we realized that our life on this earth could be entirely different? The jobs that society favors are usually based in offices. They usually require our minds, and over time we've begun to devalue any sort of job with manual competence. Any job that requires us to use our hands. Artisanal skills, hard labor, and blister-worn hands have been forgotten. I think as humans, though, there's something instinctual about working with your hands and slowly seeing something evolve from your own actions, and this feeling is so lacking in modern life. Jobs were once only practical. 90% of humans were farmers. There were butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. There were blacksmiths, shepherds, stonemasons, potters, weavers, and leather makers. Now, the majority of us work on invisible tasks. We're accountants, sales assistants, lawyers, clerks, or receptionists. And I often wonder what the effect this has on us is. More and more, we're less connected to the things around us. We were once all makers and growers, and now we all have no idea how anything is made or grown. We no longer make things with our own hands, and instead we consume them. Through the dwindling of skills, it's created such a disconnect between ourselves and the things around us. If we become unaware of the process of creation, consumption suddenly has so much more power. We all echo the same affirmations: I'm not creative, I'm not mechanical, but what truly separates those of us who create or fix or tinker is the willingness to fail. No one is naturally skilled at any manual task, it just begins with many failures, followed by small wins. Working with our hands lets us become more connected to the world around us. It truly connects us to the world and grounds us from the floating, invisible concepts that so much of society exists around today. Productivity is one of these tools that's used against us. This idea that makes us feel like we should always be working harder, achieving more, and resting less. Whenever I feel myself being caught in this way of thinking, I remember that I am not a product. I remind myself that humans aren't born to be workers or machinery or an underappreciated part of a system. We are animals. This common misconception that our species is above the rest of the species on Earth is our downfall. We think that we're smarter, more intelligent, and have control and power over the earth, but I see the way that a flock of sheep go about their day, and I don't know if any of this is true. A sheep grazes on the grasses, naps in the sun, plays with the flock, and navigates to a new corner of the field. A sheep will never have to fill a quota or work late or pick up a second job. To both survive and have fun as they do, this is it. They sleep, they eat, they play, and they explore. It's scary just how disconnected we have become from the earth around us in such a short amount of time. Growing or foraging your own food is now a luxury. Even just in our grandparents' time, it was so normal to have the space and time to grow a vegetable garden and be able to provide fresh food in any household. Now, a garden in most cases is a hobby for some people that are lucky enough to live where they can nurture the soil. When did this happen? When did humans become so detached from the very thing that we're made of? So severed from nature and its systems? We're supposed to have our hands in the soil. The microbes act as antidepressants. A child who is exposed to more dirt is less likely to develop allergies. The morning sun on your skin replenishes your vitamin D, and the evening light aligns your circadian rhythm. Nature should be a human right. It's not the fault of individuals that most of us know more keyboard commands than seed varieties. Survival isn't about growing food and finding shelter anymore. It's not about sharing the bounty of a large harvest or collecting seeds that grow well. Survival is now about our ability to hoard money. Money gives us food and it gives us shelter. It even gives us fun. It lets us buy safety. But the system is warped against most, so safety from many is stolen to line the pockets of a few, so that some numbers on a screen can go up. I remember as a child someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and laughing that I wanted to be rich. At the time, as a 6 or 7 year old, I thought that it was funny and smart, and now I look back with sadness and fear of the world. Already at such a young age, these fake concepts of wealth and power infested my ideals and my growth. Children understand the power of money before they completely have a grasp on the language. That is so terrifying. I get it, because money does create safety, but any excess just proves to be for meaningless consumption. In this life in the countryside, I've realized that creativity will always be better than consumption. To consume feeds the same part of your brain that releases endorphins from creating, and that's why consumption holds so much control over us, because it feels good. But it's a shallow high, and instead, if we could learn to create, that can feed us this meaning in a more sustainable way. To create a drawing or painting or some chocolate-coated treat. To create an interesting conversation, a dress, a basket, or a song. This is how we can feed and nourish ourselves. When you aren't working for someone else, you have the time to slowly experiment and create and try things out. These chocolate treats would be so much easier to just buy from the shop, but the hours I spent harvesting and baking let me expand. And I'll gift some of these to my friends, my creativity spreading outwards. I will feel rich in an entirely different way. Creativity will always be better than consumption. I realize now that community is wealth. Through shared living, life becomes easier. This was once the norm. In so many societies, community was the basis to survival. I read a book once that challenged the idea of our human history being survival of the fittest, and rather survival of the friendliest. It was making friends, working together, and building communities that gave us bigger chances of survival, and therefore it was the friendliest of us that went on to breed. It's our ability to have shared knowledge systems that makes humans intelligent. So it's funny that we often strive for success on our own individual terms, that we dream of individual wealth when in reality a thriving community is true wealth. I think about this a lot on a smaller scale. If we worked with our neighbours more and shared the work around. If I help out with a friend's garden and then they help out with my fence. If we bartered in the community more, swapping clothes for vegetables or a goat for some sawn timber. If we betted on each other's successes, what could we achieve? But I also think about this on a large scale. If Earth's inhabitants could work in a way that we valued each other, that built thriving communities instead of isolated and meaningless wealth. 62 individuals hold the same amount of wealth as 3.6 billion people, or half of the Earth's population. The small percentage of a few billionaires who hold so much power are so unimaginative that they can't picture a world where the systems don't unfairly favour them. They're so greedy that they'd rather see the world around us crumble than change. But as cliché as it sounds, because it has been repeated again and again, there is power in the people. As individuals, it often feels like we don't have much power against these few, but together we can achieve real change. I sometimes feel no hope, but then I remember that my small actions can make larger ripples than I think. That each time I sew my own dress from scraps instead of buying a polyester garment sewn by unpaid workers, that I'm telling the world that I don't agree. That each time that I grow my own food instead of supporting a large-scale corporation poisoning the environment and the people, that I'm saying I believe that we can be better than this. That each time that I work with my community rather than against each other, I prove that it's possible for us all to thrive together. And mostly, that each time that I imagine a better world, I build that future into existence. Thank you so much to this community on here. Every time I read a comment, I see that we're building a community together, imagining a more harmonious Earth. And thank you so much to our patrons who help us to plant trees and regenerate the forest. We are so grateful for you and your belief in a better world.